Nancy Mace threatens my girlfriend in the spirit, Jasmine Crockett, during a committee hearing. Here it is.
Somebody's campaign coffers really are struggling right now. So she gonna keep saying trans, trans, trans so that people will feel threatened. And child, listen, I want y'all to tell me whether or
Do
not
call me a child. I am no child.
I want
Don't
to
even
find
start.
out
I am a grown
which
woman.
of those
I am 47 years
emails
old. I have broken
actually
more glass
have.
ceilings than you ever
Chairman, I
will.
am reclaiming my time.
You will not do that. I am not a child.
I am reclaiming my time.
If you want to take it outside,
Mr. Chairman, the committee is not in order.
Order.
Point of order. Point of order.
Order.
Point of order. Order. Oh, I reclaim my time. All right. So let's put up the picture for Mass. I'll give you some background and we have more video, obviously. So the House Oversight Committee went off rails on Tuesday as Representative Nancy Mace, Republican, South Carolina, fumed at Representative Jasmine Crockett. This came as the House voted to ban trans athletes from women's sports at federally funded institutions. That makes a difference. Federally funded institutions. Crockett spoke again later during the committee meeting and slammed the GOP for attacking, quote, the most vulnerable members of society. Here's more.
Let me tell you something. Y'all need to find some people that actually care about their constituents. And honestly, whenever y'all are ready to work, we on this side of the aisle have always been ready to do what is right by the American people. Instead, what you can continue to do is go after the most vulnerable in our country. The fact that you just sat up there and somehow figured out how to tie trans folk to your argument makes no sense to me. But let me tell you something. Trans people ain't going nowhere. Just like when the racists wanted to make sure that black people somehow were going to be dismissed in this country, we ain't left either. And I'll yield.
Would you yield back?
I'll yield.
All right, let me give you some background. So the House passed legislation. This was Tuesday that would ban transgender athletes from participating in women's and girls sports at schools and institutions receiving federal funds. Quick note, no federal funds, no issue, all right? Federal funds issue. The bill, which would also amend federal law to say that, quote, a sex shall be recognized based solely on a person's reproductive biology and genetics at birth, was approved largely along party lines in the 218 and 206 vote. Only two Democrats voted for the measure. You have Henry Collier and Vincent Gonzalez. Representative Don Davis, DNC, voted present, and no Republican opposed the measure. So now it actually heads to the Senate. AOC kind of lays out this bill and why. Here it is.
Here we are today. Republicans who have voted consistently against the Violence Against Women Act, who have taken away the right of all women to choose and have control over their own body, who, as women are bleeding out in parking lots across the country, standing there, allowing us to die, now want to pretend today that they care about women. And why? To open up gender and, yes, genital examinations into little girls in this country in the so-called name of attacking trans girls. I know who loves this bill. Yes, bigoted folks love this bill. Assaulters love this bill. But also, CEOs love this bill. Because Los Angeles is on fire right now. And this is the number one priority this majority has. Thank you, and I yield back.
Let me give you some context. Republicans are raising money on this, okay? School systems all across the United States of America, both in cities and in rural areas, have been dealing with this issue prior to the federal government getting involved, prior to Congress making it an issue. Congress makes it an issue, and they will show you this debate full mass, as I say. But then they will vote the same on banks. they will vote the same on policies that affect commerce and homelessness and how can we get out of the housing crisis. And they will give you this red meat. And I'm talking to those who are especially in the MAGA crowd. You see, the transgender argument is a proxy argument for all of the other bigoted arguments that they make. And God bless the Democrats who are standing firm, and some of them have changed their mind on this when they would have voted with a lot of Republicans prior. But because of the polarization of politics and because of the extreme right, they have drawn a line in the sand because they understand that these votes are not moves and checkers. They are in fact moves in chess. So with one vote comes another. With one agreement comes attached another agreement. And all of a sudden, the tapestry of agreements in the Republican Party is to say no to this group, no to that group, no to the next group. Well, if we said no to this group, that group, and the next group, obviously we can say no to you. Understand what they're doing. Don't fall for that game. They are not playing in good faith. They are trying to disrupt progress for more than just one demographic. All right, Rickey, no matter what your agreement or disagreement may be, you can't go around threatening Ms. Crockett. Can't do that.
Yeah, no. And she didn't want to take that outside. Anybody that ever wanted to take something outside just took it outside without having to say it, right?
That's right.
Because if she wanted to take Ms. Crockett outside, she would have met her at the steps or whatever. But you said that's one of those. Let's take this outside so people can hold her and she's gonna say, "Let me
hold
go
her back.
Let me go. Hold me back. No, let me go." But whatever. But they ran on during this last presidential election. They raised a lot of money and they ran on this issue. They put pictures of transgender people out and made people think that, if Joe Biden or if Kamala Harris become president of the United States, the transgenders were going to take over. And it's like, and it made everybody angry. And, angry is a manifestation of fear or whatever.
Right.
So, it got everybody ginned up and riled up and, and it actually worked, whatever. So they just using that stuff, those particular issues to gaslight Americans to get our attention off of the issues that really need to be talked about.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate. Just as Representative Crockett said, they're trying to connect arguments that don't connect. They naturally don't connect, but this is when you don't actually engage representative politics in good faith.